All right, so welcome to our team time. It's Monday, it's November already. It looks like Meg is coming to us from a swimming pool or something with a blue background. What's up over there, Meg?
It is Kellyanne's ninth birthday, so we are just working wherever we can. She is in the pool, so I am in the tent, lifeguarding and team calling at the same time.
Wow. Okay. Well, priority is not letting any of those kids get hurt. So
Sure. Right.
please keep the focus there. So. All right. Well, good to see you. So we are into our 3.0 era. So I wanted to maybe start off by let's share something. You can shout it out or put it in the comments. But what is something good this week that you have done either for your personal health or for your business that is elevating you to 3.0? Debbie.
Okay. I had a meeting with a priest today who is a very big man. Um, and I actually had the courage and the like the desire. I really wanted to. And so like I said to him, I was like, hey, um, I know about something that could help you. And it was like, it was really, I've wanted to, when I met him, like, I don't know, a decade ago, I was like, God, I would love to help that guy. But I finally today, I was just like, hey, I know of the thing, blah, blah, blah. And he was so like, yep, let's do this. Like, I'm so interested. And so like, we started the process of like texting back and forth, but like, the confidence is back, so I'm just very excited about that. And then one other thing, I had somebody I network with sent like a woman called me and she was like, "Hey, I don't know you. My name is this, and so and so, told me to talk to you." And so I did a health assessment with her today, and she's not quite in the space that she maybe should be, like in her like should be, but like she's got some conceptions. So I was like, let's just talk about it. And like, so like, I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited about my new energy.
That is huge. Thank you for sharing that. And that kind of energy is magnetic. I can tell you, I was sharing with somebody earlier today that generally, if we're not moving forward in our health, in our business, that it is usually a sign of, oh, well, where are my notes here? Of either like a lack of conviction, a lack of belief, or a lack of confidence. And when we can get more in alignment, like I will say, I shared with you after I came back from Sundance that my belief was restored, that energy. So sharing about that, have gone back on plan and down 4.2 pounds myself. And the most valuable thing to me going through this process of being back on the 5-in-1, I'm doing the 5-in-1 active, what is number one, a great appreciation for the fuelings again and the variety that we had. I intentionally ordered a lot of different fuelings. I text Vicky all the time. I'm like, holy smokes, just ate the biscuit, like there's just stuff I've forgotten about. But more importantly, especially the second weekend, having some social events and stuff, like understanding that struggle and that push pull of wanting to conform and do what the masses are doing and doing what your mind wants to do versus what you really want to do. But there is something about waking up Monday morning knowing you stayed true to what it is. So I see Frank and Shauna put a couple of things in the comment about your health. Congrats. Gina started back on 5-in-1. Awesome. Awesome. Good. I signed up a new client today. That's always fun. So, you know what? The things are happening. So, all right. Well,
I was going to mention I had an opportunity to do a continuing education for some healthcare folks on Friday, and so I ended up with several ladies from that reaching out to me. One of them signed up today, and so we'll see what happens with that. Some of them are just wanting recipes, which is fine because I told them I had some recipes that I showed in the presentation. I showed them some pictures of some stuff and they were wanting recipes for that stuff. So some of them just want recipes, but it's opening doors. So that's good.
And hopefully new connections for you, right? New connections, whether you're doing a newsletter or some sort of follow-up system with them, you can always check in to see how they're enjoying the recipes or, do they have
Mhm.
specific health goals? So, yay, good for you for getting out there and doing that and taking it the next step. Stephanie, I saw you signed up a client. Yay. Good, good, good. Yeah, I love that we can shout from the rooftop all the truth about metabolic health. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in specifics to things like high blood pressure, et cetera, what we can say. But we can't let this month go by or get started and launch into that without celebrating some cool stuff that happened in October. So let me share again and we'll celebrate some of our team members. Feel free to use the comments or your emojis to shout out to these individuals. But these are some notable mentions for the month of October. I'm still kind of in shock that we're in November already. All right. These are all the coaches on our team that signed up a new client, at least one new client in the month of October. So, celebrating Kelly, who actually signed up 3 new clients, Diane Nix, myself, Shauna and Frank with 3, Meg Johnson, Ellen with 3, Nydia 2, Adele, and Matilda. So good things are happening. Always a good sign when we see new people signing up. And you guys continuing to share. All right, these are our 3% client support bonus earners. So these are individuals that have an additional 3% added to their client support commission, and that is those individuals that had the 3 or more. So that's Frank and Shauna, Kelly, and Ellen. You get to see their beautiful faces up there. Also, we're celebrating our 10,000 club. Our 10K club is these coaches have frontline volume, frontline qualifying volume of 10,000 or more. So Kelly and Frank and Shauna, congratulations for that. And then 8,000 or more is Meg Johnson and myself. So when we talk about building and serving, it's also about helping and supporting coaches. So fully integrated business coach means that you yourself have at least $6,000 of frontline volume, team has at least 15,000, and then at least 5 senior coaches on the team. So that is Meg Johnson and myself this time. Others are working their ways towards that. And then this was a fun one this month, some rank advancement earners. So big shout out to Julie, who's going to share with us in just a minute, and myself. It was very fun to get a rank advancement bonus. So we're going to go over all the bonuses again so you know what is available to you, but this is available to all of us as we continue to grow. But I never want to, miss an opportunity to tell you guys, first of all, congratulations to everyone who's on this team. The fact that you are here, the fact that you show up on Monday nights, that you are supporting the clients that you do have, and more does not go unnoticed. So, all right, here are well, let's do this first. Let's have our good friend, Julie Apple, come on, because Julie, was kind of fun. In the last couple of days of the month, we figured out what was happening, but it's also a result of other things you've been doing. So,
Hey, yeah. So I think it was Wednesday, Dee texted and she said, "Do you know how close you are to ED?" And I had no idea. We lost my grandfather and there's been a lot going on. And so I was like, I have no idea, but I'm glad you are keeping an eye on all that. So thank goodness for our leaders. So I saw what was possible. It was some easy stuff to make it happen. So we ended up I ended up getting back to ED, but what we were talking and texting about is it she asked me, what would you want to share? And I said, well, I'm not really doing anything different than I've been doing for the past 11 years. Like I just keep doing the same things, but we all obviously shift and adapt what we're doing, right, to what the trends are. But as far as action steps, I'm still doing the same things. But I wrote down a couple of things that I thought may help you guys that have really helped me, that I kind of took a break from some of them just because of the nature of having a kiddo and not having as much time. But I started implementing them again. So one of the big things that I think I've done like 3 or 4 now is I started offering lunch and learns. And that has gone over really well. And I even had somebody at church yesterday tell me, I gave your info to my boss. She works at a physical therapy office. And she said, I think we could have your help. Um, it's all women. And I said, yes. So what's neat is when you offer it, I just posted it on social media and offered that as a free way to help serve many like different kind of size offices. So I did it at one lady that I work out with. I did it at the place where I've gone to counseling for several years. I'm getting ready to do it. There's a couple more. There's a bunch on the calendar. So I would encourage you guys, if you have questions about it, I'm happy to tell you how I've done it, but I've basically set aside an hour just to share about health, and I've used metabolic health as a kind of a baseline. And then I usually do a 1 hour free session giveaway and let like a drawing at the end. So then you have an immediate way to meet with somebody. And then a couple other things real quick. I have signed up for every single event or like health fair or wellness fair that I've heard about at different offices or different, like our church has one on Saturday that I'm doing. I'm doing one at a place I went to last year and I'm doing it again this year. So a lot of companies have like wellness fairs. So if your husband or wives or family members ask if they have like a wellness program that you can be involved in the wellness fairs. That's another good way to have a table and just share about health and meet a lot of people. And then the last thing I would say is just make an intentional effort to let your social media be a positive, like encouragement and the light. I think sometimes it's so hard to know what to post, and we all are like, what am I gonna put up here? But I had one of my close friends that's a neighbor. She lives a couple doors down from me, and she said to me today, she's like, "Thank you for all that you share. Please keep posting, like the encouragement." And I thought that's basically what my goal is to be an encouragement to people. And of course, health is just a part of that, right? So if you're stuck about what to post, just find something encouraging because people see it. They may not comment or like it, or may not know, but they're seeing it. So hopefully that helps.
That is so good, Julie. And really, I mean, I love what you said. I mean, I remember like driving to Charlotte and helping you with like it was like, it wasn't a lunch and learn, but we did like a,
Bunch
gather
of
and
different
learn
seminars,
session
yeah.
in person. But that really is the name of the game. I mean, about building social media is one aspect of our business, but getting out into our communities to meet people, et cetera. So I'm sure Julie would be willing to share maybe outline or whatever for doing those kind of presentations, and any of us could get out and do a health fair, things like that. But it really is, I was telling I think maybe Frank and Sean and we were mentoring today that like my goal is to get into a different room every week. So I am looking for different women's groups, different organizations, different things that I can be a part of just for once a week, that I get physically in a room. And it's not comfortable. I mean, it's stretching me, but I also know if I want to make the impact that I say I want to make, it's got to be different. People aren't going to come to me. It's me going out into the community. So very good. Well, thank you, Julie. And I know through the years, how many years coaching, Julie?
10.
10 years. So the highs and lows, the setbacks, you've been through all of it. Like we all have, but staying consistent, staying the course, working on yourself through it. So all right, a couple of quick things we'll go through, and then we're going to dive in a little bit more into metabolic health. These are the current bonuses that are available right now. Can you guys see those? Is that we get yes? Okay. So the rank advancement bonuses. So anybody on this call, they start at the rank of executive director, and then the ranks from there up. These are available through the end of December. So if you ranked up this month in November or in December, you will qualify, and then you can also get it a second month. So for example, when Julie hits executive director again this month, she'll get another bonus. If you hit it in December for the first time, they do open up January for it. So these are things to be striving for. And I'm happy to, help you with a roadmap on how to get there. The client support bonuses, this is where you can get up to an additional 10%. We know that Frank and Ellen and Kelly got the 3%, but there's also a 5% available if you have 5 or more new clients, 7% available for 7 or more clients, and 10 for 10 or more. That's also available through the end of the year. The CSB Max, if you reach the rank of director through volume 4,800 or higher, or if you reach the rank of executive director through volume 6,000 or higher, you can max and get an additional 2% on your bonus. And then our new coach impact multipliers, these also run through the end of the year. So great time to be bringing on people because these impact multipliers are matched for you as the coach. We have had a lot going on, and I'm really trying to decipher how to share about calls. We've got Dan and Dr. A that are now providing more for us. Dan's call is at 8:30 tonight. Last week they did a all coach call for us at 8:30 last week. I did talk to Dan, and they are gonna put together a coach explorer. So as we have candidates, they will do it, but it's not on the calendar yet. So tonight at 8:30, the Valentines were offering a metabolic call for new clients and for potential coaches. So I did share that in our group. So the number one messaging, I'm going to show you what's coming up this week, is I don't want you to think you have to be on every single call. Like that is the fastest way to burnout that I could imagine, right? If you want to be on because you want to be educated, you want to hear the language, you want to learn more about how to talk about this new verbiage with metabolic health, hop on one or two, be on our weekly team times, but don't feel like you need to sit on it all unless you do have a candidate that's there, then you might want to be on one of those, opportunity calls. But here's what we have this week. All of this is in our coach page, but if you want to maybe screenshot it just so that you know what's coming up. So tonight at 8:30, you have the choice after the community call to either be on the Dan Bell's ILAC call or the metabolic reset call. That's the one for potential clients or coaches. Dr. A, the first Tuesday of the month, always offers his Conscious Leadership Forum, which is incredible. That's available to anyone, Optavia or non-Optavia. Thursdays, we have re-implemented our informal coach time, which we're making it very targeted towards our personal goals, personal growth, connection, idea exchange, collaboration. And that is Thursdays from 12:30 to 1. So that will be reposted again this week. And then the first Thursday of every month, Optavia offers the Optavia Edge Leadership Call. And this week, I would recommend you attend. It's going to be Doug and Tia Wood. They are back. They are on fire, and the largest earners in Optavia in terms of impact, how many people they have helped. So they are on fire with this metabolic health. So it would be a great one to attend. So before I jump into anything else, because I'm getting cotton mouth from talking so much, any questions on what you guys have learned about metabolic health so far, what you might be concerned about, what you can say, not say? Our group is small enough, we can have a little interaction here. Oh, go ahead.
So I know that this is not like things that we can say, but there's a book called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia, I think is how you pronounce it. And I don't normally get into things like this because it's a lot of medical, but oh my gosh, I'm listening to it and reading it at the same time so my brain can process it better. It's all along the same, he wrote it years ago, but he talks about health 3.0 and, medicine 3.0, and it just goes hand in hand with what, we're doing now. So it just reinforces and helps me to have some more knowledge about it. And if that would be helpful.
You want to put that maybe in the chat?
Yeah,
Shona?
yeah. And this is the book. It's
Yeah.
like $12 on Amazon. I couldn't believe it was so cheap.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Yes.
Frank's holding it up. Yeah. And that's one thing I would say is if you're not doing any personal development or additional reading, that might be a missing link right now in your business, whether it's personal development, education like this. So if you haven't picked up anything for a while, an audio version or the actual physical book would be a great thing to do. that's one thing I realized I had kind of slipped on, and I'm back to listening to Ed Milet on a regular basis. He is just really about helping people reach their full potential. And it started uncovering for me, I was realizing areas that I was holding back or moving into that scarcity thinking. So having those other voices in our head are always good. I did one thing we did not cover last week when we talked about metabolic health. We talked about all the statistics, the new studies, what it's shown about Optavia. But there are four, like the top four, the big four metabolic conditions of high blood pressure or blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and insulin sensitivity. And I'm going to be honest, personally, I have heard mixed things about what we can actually say as coaches and not coaches, or as coaches. And so I was confirming with Dan today, and then he was going to confirm, and I think he's going on at over at 8:30 tonight. But I'm going to put a screen up about it. And if you want to screen share this, or I'm sorry, screenshot this. In terms of things that you can say, we can say that you can help reverse metabolic dysfunction. And primarily, we know we can do that through our targeted healthy fat visceral loss that we can do through our program. You can share all of the statistics that are listed there. So you can talk, and I would talk boldly, because this is our distinguishing accolades in the marketplace, is this. But I also want to remind you that be careful and also be bold in sharing that these kind of results came with working with a coach. So you are a big part of this process in order for somebody to achieve it. It's not the program that's doing it. It's the program plus the support of the coach and the community. So that is important, because that's one thing the company wants us to know, and for clients to know, is that it's that partnership with their coach that is the primary difference. Okay, this is what Dan said to me. If you personally, your 3.0 story, or even your 2.0 when you lost your weight initially, but if your story includes that you had improvements in one of those top 4 areas, you can share that. It's your own personal story. You can share what you're do it. You can put it in writing on a post. You can talk about it in person, etc. Our clients can say absolutely anything. If they do a post and they say anything, I came off 10 medications, I feel 10 years younger, I'm reverse aging, and they tag you, because they're not an employee of the company, they can say, or a contractor with the company, they can say anything. We can share a client story, but if there's references to those big 4, be sure to clarify that as a result of their weight loss, making it up, Frank also experienced a decrease in his blood pressure, etc. So making sure you tie it to that. Then what Dan said to me is, don't say I can help you reverse these conditions of like the big 4, but just say I might be able to help you with these things through our metabolic program and weight loss. So is that clear as I can make it at this point? Beth?
So what about disclaimers? What do we have to put on there now? The same standard one?
Have not received any information on disclaimers right now. So probably I'll write myself a note, go look under compliance in Coach Answers and see if they have come up, if they've documented all this for us, but
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Thank you.
I looked for new updated disclaimers probably 2 weeks ago. I didn't see any, but they may have put them up there by now.
Okay.
And one of the things that I cited on one of my posts when I was talking about the study, and the metabolic study that Optavia, or the new study that Optavia did, they've got a little blurb in their back office about how this study was held to the same standards as a pharmaceutical study would be. And I thought that's pretty important, because anybody can say they did a study, but this one was held to some very rigorous guidelines. So
It's so true. Yes. Yeah, they actually went to the government and said, if we want to ask these kind of questions, what do we have to do? And we did the study on that level.
and there's a little blurb for that in the back office.
Yeah.
In your back office
Yeah.
somewhere.
And you know what, we will, because I really do want to go over this metabolic study. I will continue to keep the call open and we will talk about that. We will record it. If you need to hop off to a client call or the community call, it won't take that long to go over it, but I definitely want to make sure that we go over it. The other thing I wanted to share, just kind of some guidelines as we are starting to talk about this, because I know I'm seeing your post, you're seeing, I'm sure, other leaders post, other people on our team, but things to keep in mind. And this is what came to us through the leadership training, is that as a 3.0 coach, it is going to be your story, just like when you started as a coach, your transformation story is going to be your 3.0 story and what you've experienced and what you share that people are going to connect to. The one thing they warned us on is not just becoming this big information funnel on the internet about metabolic health, being an educator, being an expert. It's going to be the kind of stuff people can't relate to. It's going to feel cold. They will connect with you with your own personal story. And the one thing that was really pointed out, and I think it goes greatly in line with what Julie said about being an encourager, is like fear mongering never, that tends to repel people. Like, people know that they're at risk for being overweight. They know they're at risk for high blood pressure, et cetera. Well, we want to be out there saying, hey, you might have this, and here's how we could make it better. But the fear mongering doesn't generally attract. And then you have everything you need right now, because right now it's the 5-in-1, right? That was what was restudied. So that's primarily what we're doing, is working with individuals on the 5-in-1. And then I just put some of the language there, if you want to take a shot of it, is like in your health assessments, in your conversations with people, the way you show a before and after now, using some of this language of that came from compliance, but whoops, somebody's writing on my board, targeted, Barbara, for some reason, we're getting annotation from you. But anyway, targeted healthy weight loss, visceral fat loss, and 98% muscle retention. Using the word metabolism reset is very attractive these days versus saying, I can help you lose weight. But I heard this quote this week and I loved it. And it said, when you're thinking about a post, don't overthink it. A message coming from your heart will touch someone's heart. So always keep it from there. So let's talk. So 8 o'clock, the call is officially over, but if you want to stay on, I learned last week and started seeing, whoops, let me stop that share. Other leaders posting about a metabolic study. And I was like, what the heck is this? So went digging, asking some questions, and talked to one of my favorite peers in the company, Michelle Luft. She runs an incredible business, but also just a great person of integrity. And I really love the way she thinks, because it's transformational, the way that we are. And what she said is, she said, the way I learned about this, and the reason I want to do it, she said, is basically what we're doing is inviting people to come in as hopefully new clients, or it can be a re-engaged client, as you want, but to come in, do our 5-in-1 program, and have a body scale. They can do an in-body or have one of these body scales, so that we can also look at visceral fat, body fat percentage improvement, visceral fat improvement, so that you have your own clients to be sharing stories about. And I thought, that sounds powerful, right? Rather than saying, hey, I've got these clinical studies, saying, hey, here's my evidence. Stephanie just went on program. She's been on a program for a month. Look what's happening already. And we're going to have more targeted data to be able to share with real live people. So the metabolic study is not like a clinical study, whatever. It's basically, you are inviting people in to come and do the program, and be willing to track these with you, so that you will have this data to be able to go forward. So in some ways, it's a marketing tool, because it does allow us to go out to share. Those graphics are very eye-catching. They're getting activity. I had more correspondence and more health assessments the past few days than I've had in 6 months from that post. People are very interested in it. And then what I posted, and I'll show it to you. I posted it in our group, is somebody in Dan Ballantyne's group actually did a step-by-step document of what to post. Here's what to do if they like the post. Here's what to message them if they say they're interested. And of course, I would encourage you to look at the language, make sure it sounds like you, etc. But they give it step by step how to walk through this. And I just had somebody sign up today as a result. I was following that process and they signed up. The free metabolic scale. And so what I want to be really clear about with you guys is that this is 100% optional if you want to do it or not. Like, you are kind of doing your own study with your own clients, right? You're collecting your own data. You don't have to do it, right? If you want to or not. The way it was designed as an attractive feature so that you could have your get the data that you want is either offering for an individual to go for an in-body exam at the beginning of the 30 days and the end of the 30 days in their area, or there is a very credible body composition scale on Amazon right now, available for $20 that you could gift somebody. So that's what I did, is after I placed her order, I went to Amazon. It's $19.95, sent her that scale. She was thrilled, that was going to be part of it. So again, I know everybody's businesses are in a different place. So if that's not feasible for you, you don't want to do it, A-okay. A-okay. But that is the framework of the metabolic study. And that Google Doc really does lay out everything. But what I'd like to do now is let's talk about what you like about it. Yeah, you can use the word experience. I love that. Stephanie, great word. Metabolic experience. What'd you call it?
Metabolic experience, metabolic reset experience. Just working in healthcare myself and doing a lot of studies. I know that there's personally I've experienced, just resistance with people wanting to know what entails into the study, what kind of personal information, how long are you going to keep it, what is it going for, is there compensation, all of those questions. So my clinical brain does not like that term for this.
Yeah.
And since I experienced all of those metabolic resets myself and have numbers to prove it from 5 years of being to be a client and coach, that I'm so excited that we get to say that. So I used experience, I didn't know what it was. Dee, I saw it, you posted it and someone else did. I was like, all right, I'm going to change it to my own word. And did get a client as a result of it. I found that scale, I ordered it for myself. It's on sale on Amazon right now, under $20. And I figured, if I'm going to give a $25 referral credit to somebody in the future, that this is going to be worth it if it's going to change the life of one person. So that's how I kind of justified with, just with that, even though my business is not where I want it to be, but I see that it's going there. So it's kind of like living in the future.
Yeah,
Thinking
leading from the
now.
future. I was reminded again the other day of somebody who just bought a franchise. They've just bought a franchise for something. It was a $105,000 investment for the franchise. He was advised he needed to dedicate a $6,000 a month marketing budget and contract with a media company to do his marketing for him. And when I was reminded of what we have in our hands with virtually, so such low overhead, I like your thinking, Stephanie, of investing, now the link for that scale. So let me pull up real quick. The all of this data, when I mentioned that document is put together. Let's see, let me find it here. Oops, it might have gone away on my screen. Oh, here we go. Can you guys see? Can somebody just verbally say yes if you can see this document on my screen?
No, there's no document there.
No. Okay, let me stop the share and start again.
Hey, I got the link for the scale. Oh, so does Stephanie.
It's in the document, yeah. So I would say just stick with the document. I'm trying to share right from my computer. Here we go. Okay, can you see it now? Somebody verbally say yes or no.
Yes, but there's a
Yes.
black bar, at least on
Yeah,
my.
it's hard for me to get rid of that. Let
Okay.
me see if I can pull it over here.
But Stephanie put the link in the chat, so it's
Okay.
in there.
Yeah. So the link is there. I had texted it earlier. But so the link to the scale is there as well as all this verbiage. The other thing that's in there is a great little video. I don't know if you guys saw, you would have gotten an email from, it was in one of the updates, the coach updates from Optavia. I also posted it in our group, but there's now a function within the Optavia app that you can share a cart with somebody. So if you wanted to put together, like you might have seen Kristen Glass share, like, hey, what do I order on a regular basis? You can put together a cart and share the link or send it to them, to somebody, and they are linked to your website and they can place an order from there. If you wanted to put the 5-in-1 kit in a cart for a new client, if they wanted to do the actual order themselves, and we're worried that they're going to have the wrong thing, you could assemble the cart and give it to them if you didn't want to place the order yourself. So it's just another functionality that we have. In that metabolic study, there is a little video from Dan Valentine on how to do it, how a little more detail on that and how to do it. So questions?
I do have a quick question that is not really related to just this, but I've noticed that there's been an update on the website and it no longer gives you the option to customize kit under kit. You can remove things and add things, but sometimes you end up losing the free shaker bottle or something else when you're doing that. Sometimes it doesn't. So when I'm signing people up, I'm finding it much more laborious and I've always customized to the kit because I just feel like they respond better and they like more things when I do it that way. So I've always customized the kit, but it doesn't seem to be as easy to use anymore
You have
as
to,
it was.
yeah, you have to scroll down. I actually walked through my client with my new client today because I was looking for that too, Kelly. And I thought, oh, where is this? It's very small. You have to scroll down at the very bottom and it says customize your kit. And
Is
then
it after, okay, so which click are you doing? Are you doing, when they have all the different kits that are there, are you clicking on the kit? Are you clicking on the add to my
so when they
cart?
first sign up, I had her click on 5-in-1, the optimal weight 5-in-1 plan. It automatically puts in the essential kit, but then you have to scroll down to the bottom of the page and it's set, and there's a small box and it's in white compared to green and all of the others.
So it's in the,
And you can click on that, and then what it
okay.
does is it
I'll
brings
look
up
at
all the
that.
essential fuelings. It has
Okay.
all of the ones that are in the kit in blue, and so you can either take them out, put them in. And so I just
Yeah.
told her to make
I've
sure
been
she was
adjusting it,
changing.
but like I said, it's been changing it. So
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
scroll down and
easy.
see if it
It's-
shows up for me.
You might want to,
Okay.
it depends if you work, I know on the app, you can actually message through the app if there was something that you wanted an improvement, or you could email coach support and just say, hey, I've noticed this. They're making changes daily. They're really trying to keep our tech up to date and speed,
Okay.
up to speed. So
Yeah.
I think they would appreciate any feedback like that, Kelly.
Okay.
All right. Well, we are over time. I'm glad you guys stayed on. Just lots of stuff, really cool stuff is happening. So, so that is it for this call this evening. You have the options to attend the other calls if you want. I do hope you'll come on Thursday. That was a really really productive session we had last week at our first one, the Coach Connect 3.0, at 12:30 for our team. So, all right. I'll see you in the Facebook group. Feel free to reach out if you guys need anything. Thanks. Bye.